Hey, thanks for tuning in to Fanboy Cantina. In this video, we're going to be talking about Build-A-Bear's The Child from Star Wars The Mandalorian. Before we get started, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate it. We cover all kinds of things about Star Wars and toys and Lego, all here. Join the Cantina. When The Mandalorian came out, the reveal of the child, or let's call it Baby Yoda for the remainder of this thing, they really kept the Baby Yoda character under wraps. There wasn't a lot of merchandise that existed, at least when the show first came out. And now, in the months since, there's been a number of new releases. And so, for example, there's this plush figure from Disney Store. There's also the new toys that are coming out, or that have come out. And I just saw, as you see from this image, these two figures over at Target. But I think the two most sought after, one is coming out later in 2020, but then the other is this Build-A-Bear plush figure that is out in limited release. And now, so since you can't go to a shopping mall, at least at the time of this video, it makes it really hard to get your hands on one of these things. They have had them in limited release online. I only knew that this particular one went on sale thanks to somebody posting in a Star Wars group, and so I was able to go online and purchase straight away. Most recently, there was another big launch, probably the single biggest availability window, and those sales transpired over the course of at least 2-3 hours. And there was a long queue in the line. Maybe you're one of those people and you'll be receiving these things in a box. One thing to note is it is not cheap, right? So in contrast to this thing that's $24.99 or some other options that are either that amount or cheaper, the Build-A-Bear version is $59.75. And that's because the way that they are doing this, at least in the beginning, it's like the Cadillac of Baby Yoda. It's like all the bells and whistles are in there. So you got, I think the normal plush figure is going to be $45, and then you've got the sound cards and another sound card, and somehow that adds up to $59 and change. It's a relatively small box that came in the mail. I've had it for a few weeks, but I just haven't gotten around to opening it. But we're going to open it right now and check it out. One of the distinctive things when you go to Build-A-Bear is you get this little bit of a house for your character, and so here this Baby Yoda came with a little house. So now let's open it up. This is pretty cool. So that's cool. I'm gonna set this down here, and so now you can see. Oh my goodness, he's trapped. He can't see anything. He's what the heck is going on? You can't even. He's certainly not gonna have a soup all bundled up like that. But all right. So there's a little Velcro. We can unwrap the Velcro, and then, oh, look at that. Look at that. That is pretty awesome. That is pretty good. That is a nice looking figure. And it is very plush, right? So again, let's just do this for now, just to hold them side by side. So maybe put it in front, I don't know. Quite a lot bigger than the Disney Store version. And I think the proportions are a little bit nicer. It's not quite as lanky as the Disney Store version. Here you can see Baby Yoda's hand, and he's using the force, something like that. But now on this side, you can feel there's a little something on this side as well. So let's see what happens. That's cool. So that's cool. You squeeze this particular hand and you get Baby Yoda's little noises or expressions. And you can, again, as I mentioned, you can feel like there's a heavy weight on this side, for mine at least. So let's push this. We can squeeze it again and turn it off. And I guess that's the same with this side, or is it just... Yeah, so if you press it again, it'll shut off. This is really, really nice. It's a much nicer figure than the Disney Store piece. I don't have the other one that's there with the plastic or the rubber molded head, but this is really nice. So there's a couple of other pieces here in the box. One is, oh, we got a little thing here. A galaxy of fun awaits you and your new friend. So that's okay. We'll add, and then, oh, here we go. Here's the Build-A-Bear birth certificate. Height 14 inches, 10 ounces, black, fur color light green. And so if you haven't been to Build-A-Bear before, there's a whole experience, and among those pieces is receiving a birth certificate at the end. So it's pretty nice. So I don't know why there's this what's the point of this Velcro here, other than for the purposes of doing the weird, wrapping up baby. This is weird. Baby Yoda's head. I don't know why these little Velcro pieces are here.Maybe for some amount of additional play value. I'm not quite sure. So usually when you at Build-A-Bear, there's like different outfits, and I guess you could take the robe thing off and put Baby Yoda in a different thing. So I think a really tough question is whether this is $59.75. And I think it's a really great product. It's much better than I thought. I'm curious what my kids are going to think of it, and maybe we'll shoot something on that and their reaction to it. But I think it's really nice. What I would say though is, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feel based on the item itself, but Build-A-Bear is usually kind of a whole experience, and if you haven't been there, it's great going there with your kids or your nieces and nephews or whomever, and it's a whole experience. You pick out what animal you want, and then you go to a different station and they put in the stuffing, and then pick out a heart, and you make a wish and you put that into the stuffed animal, and you can pick out clothes and all of that. So there's like a whole experience that Build-A-Bear is about. And when you're buying it online, you don't get that experience. You get the end item, but you don't get the end experience. And kind of not knowing where things are going to go with the pandemic, it may be a while before people are able to go into Build-A-Bear and actually produce the item. Also, it's probably going to be somewhat scarce or somewhat hard to find. Maybe by having things online, that'll quell some of the demand for it, at least in stores, and maybe it'll be a little bit easier. But I think a number of collectors were worried that, am I going to have to go to the Build-A-Bear store? Am I going to have to go to the mall every day or two to find out, do you have it in stock or something like that? If you don't care about the sound effects, right? If you don't need to hear the Mandalorian theme song, that could save you about $8 right there. If you got none of them, if you got neither of the two sound cards, that's $15. So think of it that way, right? You got a $44 plush toy, and it's another $15 in cost, so roughly about a third of additional cost just for these sound elements. Let's be honest, if you're planning on giving this to a little kid, you may be listening to that sound card over and over and over again. It may not be what you want, but if it's just for yourself or as a collector, maybe you do actually want to have both of those sound cards. And also, if you wait till when people can go back into the Build-A-Bear store, then you get to have that whole experience, right? And so if this is for your kids or even for yourself, you can take advantage of that whole experience, and it is kind of fun. All right, so hope this was helpful. If you've already purchased this, look forward to it. I think you'll be pleased. If you're on the fence about whether to wait or not, make your own judgment. And again, I don't know if you need to have the sound cards, and that could save you some cash. But if you want the full thing, that is about $59, so not all that cheap. Thanks for watching. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Fanboy Cantina.
Thank you.